Welcome to the crack of dawn. It's dawn again. You know, I could have gone into the, green room and changed my outfit, but I thought, let's go Syracuse orange. Thank you, Amy. I love this. Plus, it's cashmere. Oh, I love it. I think it's called Cupcakes and Cashmere. I save all her clothes, and she called me like a couple times this week, and I'm like, thank you. You don't understand. It's like I'm not just going to act like I bought this stuff. It's like, thank you so much for thinking about me when you send me these nice sweaters, because it really is expensive. And I save them forever, and I'm wearing it. So thanks, Amy. Okay, here we go. This is what we've got. Oh! Now, you might say like, oh, that looks like a sixth grader's. Well, you know what? Please. I paint great. I paint all sorts of ESPN stuff. I paint sports stuff. Just look me up. A lot of people say, do you have a website? Yeah, I used to, but I'm kind of one of those, I'm not the weirdo artist, but like instead of spending all this money, just go on Facebook. All my paintings, I don't really put pictures of like what I eat or where I go to restaurants. I don't put pictures of like where I am all day long. I think that's more like an Instagram thing, and I don't do that either. But anyway, if you go on my Facebook page, you go under Dawn Nolan, N-O-L-A-N, N-O-L-A-N, that's my maiden name. And then if you go under Dawn Nolan Lombardi, everybody says, why do you have two Facebook accounts, Dawn? Do you know why? Because I forgot my password. Yes, I forgot my password. So I couldn't retrieve it because I couldn't remember it. So now I have Dawn Nolan Lombardi. Go on Facebook, hit photos. Basically, you might see a couple photos of my kids. You'll never see one of my husband, and you'll never see anything of what I'm doing at night or eating or any of that. It's just paintings of photos, crack of dawn episodes, couple of my kids here and there, but not too many because they get mad at me. And so that's it. It's just me. So if you go on those two Facebook things, you know what? I'm sorry, but I had a website. It cost money. I had to redo it. And, I don't really care. I know it's bad marketing. And I was out with Heather Grayling last night from Vivid Hue Home. Unbelievable how put together she is. Sorry, I'm just not like that. But, everybody's cut from a different cookie cutter. And, I don't have that in me. My sister is just like Heather. Everything's perfect. Everything's organized, perfectly put together. Probably wouldn't leave the house unless everything was perfect. It's fine. That's my sister. That's Heather. Hi, Head. I look up to you people. Same with Amy, Syracuse. Lots of my friends are extremely put together, and I am, I just, I don't know, not that organized, a little bit. I go to work. I don't have to be to work until 8:05, and I get there at 7. So that gives you a little bit of sense of how much I need to organize before I do a good job at work. I can't just show up and be like, ta-da. Now I can do that here because it's kind of easy for me to paint, but with work, no. I need to go through everybody's stuff. I need to organize, and I'm not a good teacher if I'm not organized. So that's like a different work ethic that I have. So again, we're gonna go in and we're gonna slowly add some, there's a couple things. I'm just gonna go up close for a second just so you can see what I'm doing. It's a whimsical painting. Okay, there's no shadows under the people. I might add some, but you don't have to. These snowflake things right here, whoops. See these snowflake dots? Those are gonna be done at the very end. And if you look up close, they really are a snowflake. A snowflake, but I'm just gonna do it with a dot and a dab. So I'm gonna try to get this looking good. Since it's a wedding present, all of a sudden it turned into a wedding present. I'm not gonna, to me it reminds me of Christmas, but it doesn't have to be, okay? And this scene right here doesn't scream Christmas at all. I think it's just because it has these like trees and stuff and this yellow and stuff. But we're just gonna make it like a regular painting, okay? And again, if you don't have fancy stuff, this is a plate from Walmart. I always replenish plates. and cups and bowls and stuff like that. When they get junky, I like to kind of redo my pantry and I just go and buy a bunch of these. They're like $1.50 a piece. My favorite store is Ocean State Job Lot. OMG, I love that store. I don't know if anybody goes to that store, but like you can be like, okay, I need a garden hose, some underwear, socks, pretzels, and paint. Oh, and then I need some Mr. Clean. You know what I mean? You can get all of that there. Oh, and I need a carpet. Oh, and I need a patio set. I mean, everything is at Ocean State. Every single thing. So I went recently and I bought 210 bulbs, like, you know, tulips and all that stuff. And everybody was like, what? Dawn, you're crazy. I'm like, it was $6.99 for 35 bulbs. So I bought like, I don't know, $75, $80 worth of them, which turned out to be 210 tulips. And what I do is I dig a huge hole like this, okay? And then I put all the tulips in them. Only about this much space between them. And everybody's like, they're not gonna grow, they're not gonna grow. Yes, they do. Just make sure the tulip part, the pointy part is pointing towards the ceiling or the sky, because that's the part that's gonna go up in the root. So you don't wanna just throw them in. You wanna make sure that pointy part, like sort of if this is it, would be the tip of the brush that's pointing up. And I put all 35 bulbs into one hole and then I cover it up. And then when it comes up in the spring, it comes up in like one big fountain of tulips. Whereas some people plant their tulips in a row, which is fine, but what if a little mole comes along and steals your tulip? Then your whole thing doesn't look good anymore. So I like big blobs of color. I don't really like mine perfectly, but I planted a ton of them. And then I went on Amazon and I bought something that attaches to my husband's drill, and I just go brrr, and I put it in the ground and then put the bulb right in there. So for $10, you attach it to your drill, which I did not know how to do. My husband did it, which was easy. It was literally like a first grader could do it, but I couldn't do it. So he put it on, and I just went like this, brrr, brrr, brrr. And with my back problem, it was really easy for me to go ahead and plant some bulbs without having to dig a ton. So again, I love Ocean State, and if you see Coachy there, he's at the one in Bristol. He's the one I have on my show that does hockey. We have a ball. So, okay, I'm done chattering, and we're gonna get painting. So what we're gonna do next, and it's a good thing to have a picture next to you because it's a lot easier to follow. Now, I'm gonna put in my people, okay, just because. Now, it looks like this is snow. So like I said, one of my kids said to me today, Mrs. Lombardi, do you have any white markers? I was like, what? White markers? Are you out of your mind? You could just leave it white. There's white colored pencils too, which is so weird. So I'm gonna use brown, but a light brown, which means all you gotta do is add a little white. And I'm gonna put stick figures. Now, they're way too big, which is why this painting doesn't look realistic, okay? I'm gonna put stick figures. I'm gonna put them walking. I'm gonna put them holding people in carts, like a sled, okay? I'm just putting stick figures. And when Rich focuses in, we'll see. And also I'll do one here so you can see, because he's kind of a little up. So I'm gonna do a stick figure here. Again, head, don't forget the neck, feet, just put them in like that, okay? These are little people. And as a matter of fact, if this was a realistic painting, the people would be way smaller, okay? But this is not a realistic painting. It's kind of whimsical and fun. Okay, so I'm putting stick figures everywhere, but you wanna have some stick figures next to each other, see? Okay, you wanna have some couples in here, you know, just walking along. You wanna have people walking, so you don't wanna have stick figures doing nothing. They might be walking along, okay? And once these dry, we'll put another one here so you can see how I'm doing it. Now, the further away they are, the smaller they're gonna be. So something over here would be really little, okay? Almost like nothing, okay? And then when these dry, we're just gonna put clothes on them. And it's so easy, okay? So a lot of people are like, how do you do that, Dawn? I'm like, it's a stick figure. It's so far away. You're not even gonna be able to see this thing, okay? And then we're gonna be able to do this real quick. And it's gonna look really pretty when we're done. I think it's gonna be a really cute painting. And you know, if they don't have any paintings in their house, they're gonna have a Dawn Lombardi. And again, a lot of people say, you know, why don't you sign your name Dawn Lombardi? You know, I get it. I'm not a feminist or anything like that. I don't mind feminists. I think it's great. But I do it because, think about it. When you buy clothing as a female, how many names on your clothes are female brands? Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger. Lily Pulitzer is a girl. Yeah. Vineyard Vines, no. That's Shep and Ian. Those are two men, okay? Most girls are into Vineyard Vines, like my sister. Most fashion companies are men. I mean, there's like Diane von Furstenberg, there's Donna Karan. There's a few. Stella McCartney, I mean, come on, we love Stella, but she wouldn't be famous if it wasn't for her dad. Sorry, Stella. But there's a lot of, brands that are men's. And so why I signed my name, Nolan Lombardi, has a lot to do with that. And, being from Northampton, people can get mad at me. They're like, Dawn, why do you do that? And I'm like, you know what? It's called marketing. If you want to make money, you just go with it. Nobody needs to know anything. And I'm proud to be a girl. And plus, it's very hard being a woman. Anybody out there that is one, whether it's back pain or you're 50 or 60 or however old you are, we have different problems than guys do. And guys have awful problems too, because usually at a certain age, like I get nervous about my husband because a lot of men die from different things that women don't, Like I think it's pancreas, I don't know, but it's not good. So again, everybody has their battles, but I just love being part of Nutmeg TV. I love that we're going to get the new high school. I can't wait. They said my daughter is going to see it. I don't think so. They said the building was going to be done like 2022, 23. Now they're saying 2024. I don't think so. My daughter graduates in 25. I mean, she's not going to see it. But it's all right. But we do need a new building. I just wish, I wish it could be done faster because it's a lot of money. You want your kids going to a good place. It is kind of falling apart. But like I'm at Bulkey High School in Hartford. They didn't need to knock down that building. Nobody said, oh my gosh, we need a new building in Hartford. It's Bulkey High, it's falling apart. You know what we did? We closed it down. We made it into my school, which is MD Fox. We didn't get any big fancy new building in Hartford, no. We just got new air conditioning. We did the floors over. We did what we had to. We didn't get, $100 million, $190 million to do over a new school. It's Hartford. We don't have that kind of money. So what we did is we upgraded. My building is gorgeous, by the way. And they are building a couple new schools in Hartford, but they took about 7-8 years to do. And they were not really funded by Hartford because it was government, because we don't have a lot of money in some of the inner cities. But whereas Farmington, you taxpayers, you're paying for it. So, I just wish things would be done a little quicker. But I love Farmington, love it, love it, love it. But I wish my daughter would be able to see a new school. And, I don't think the time frames are right at all. But, November 3rd is coming, and you can vote for who you want. I never get mad at people for who they vote for. I think it's ridiculous when people fight over politics. Absolutely ridiculous. Plus, why do you think someone's smarter than you just because they vote for someone different? Like, you got to respect people, my God. So I'm just putting clothes on people. I'm making it up. I have no idea. Putting some orange sweater on this lady, okay? We're just adding clothes as we go. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not into the politics thing. I mean, I've had people get mad at me for who I vote for. That's why I don't talk about it, because, I even think I changed my political party because I don't want anybody knowing and being mean to me. Like, why should I have to? I don't want anybody getting mad at me just because I don't vote the same way as them. I think that's crazy. So then you end up like changing your party so you can be like incognito. And I don't know. Like, so what? What do I know anyway? You don't have to vote for who I know. I grew up in a very different place than a lot of people did. I've got my best friend coming on Friday. Hi, Lila. You've seen Lila on the show. I went to Nashville and did a show with her and Winnie. Lila's coming in on Friday, and we're going to our 10th consecutive high school reunion like that we've had a long time. So it should be fun. So Lila is a friend of mine. She grew up right down the road from me. Her parents were both artists. Her dad was really famous, and he died on March 17th. Or was it 16th, Lila? A couple years ago. He died. We were devastated. 10 minutes, tons of time. I can't believe we did 3 episodes, Rich. It's crazy. So Lila's dad was Robert Grossman. And just look him up. Just look it up now. Robert Grossman art. And you'll see that he was a political cartoonist. But never, never, never did Bob Grossman ever argue with me about anything. Nothing. That was his job. I loved him so much. And his apartment was on Crosby Street in the West Village. So when I used to go visit, remember Lila? I would tell the cab driver, 17 Crosby. I think it was 19. Was it 19 or 17 Crosby? But they were like, where to, ma'am? And I was like, 19 Crosby Street. And the cab driver would look around and be like, who do you know that lives on Crosby? And I didn't even know at the time because I don't know nothing about New York City. But I felt really fancy because I was like, oh my God, I must be going somewhere fancy. And like literally his neighbors were like Jennifer Lawrence from the Hunger Games. I mean, I think Lila, right? She lives like right next door. Very, very fancy. But when you went to his house, I don't even think, Lila, I don't even think your dad had a couch or a chair. We just sat on the floor. It was gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I miss it there so much. And I didn't get to go there for a long time, but Robert Grossman, one of the most famous, iconic drawings that he did was that movie Airplane. In the movie, like for the advertisement, the airplane's like in a knot. And that was Bob's like first drawing that got him famous. And then from there on, just look it up, it's crazy. So Lila's coming here on Friday, hi Liz, and I'm gonna go get her at Tweed Airport. Oh, I don't even know where it is. I'm gonna go get her, and then she's gonna come back to my house. Hopefully Tone doesn't get a hotel, because I told you he doesn't like company. But he's gonna love you, Lila. And we are gonna stay over at my house. She's gonna go on my couch. I don't have guest rooms. I don't have anything fancy. I don't even have central air. I have those boxes that go like in my living room. And Rich, if I'm not done with this by the end of it, I'm gonna finish it at home. Or you know what? If his new wife is anything good at art, she can get a set and add to it. You know, we might have to give this to her and just say, you know what? Here you go. You're gonna add to it. Dawn did most of it, but you're gonna add to it because it's kind of fun. And sometimes when I end up with paintings at home, I don't end up, I don't end up giving them away so much, okay? So anyway, we're gonna go to our high school reunion, and Brett, that guy that I had on my show last time from Boston, from Brookline, he was famous, ESPN, he is part of my class, so he'll be there. Love Brett. I thought I was gonna have to open his car weird. Brett, you had a Tesla. I'm like, oh my God, you're charging up your car? What the heck do you drive? He goes, a Tesla. So when I got into his car, I was kind of like pushing buttons, hoping things would like open like the Batmobile. And no, nothing happened. He said, no, it's not like that. It's just a normal car, Dawn. So I'm like pushing buttons, thinking like the whole door is gonna open, because that's what I thought Teslas were. And he said, no, not mine. It's just normal car. But he did have to charge it at the West Farms Mall. And I didn't realize how famous Brett was, but he is. And then from other people that are coming to my high school reunion, Derek from Japan. He's been on my show. He's great. He's coming on. We have a lot of great people. And if you're gonna be in Northampton this weekend, you can't dive my reunion. I think it's at the VFW though, just in case. Yeah, VFW. And then we always go to like Packard's. That's like kind of a great like hot spot in Northampton. If you haven't gone to Northampton and you're from like Simsbury, Avon, New Britain, any of the towns that watch this show, I'm from Northampton and it really is an hour from here. And you can either take 91 and it takes exactly 1 hour. That's it. So a lot of people, I'm going up to the Berkshires, I'm going to Mystic, I'm going to Newport. Try Northampton. It's a very cute town. It's small, it's adorable. You've got Smith College there, which is great. Tons of shops. Too many dispensaries, but whatever. If that's your thing, you're going to be in seventh heaven. Yeah, way too many dispensaries. Lots of hippie, trippy stores, really good shopping. Nothing's too expensive except where my mom buys my some of my stuff at Gazebo. It's kind of fancy. I'm surprised they're still there, but Gazebo is a really good, kind of like a lingerie store. Not really into that, but it has really super good lingerie and like really good like nightgowns and things that are like really high quality. So Gazebo is a great place to go. They also have an Urban Outfitters right on Main Street. Great restaurants, fantastic. We have Thai, we have Vietnamese, we have Moroccan. I mean, Northampton is a great place to go, especially if you don't have a ton of money and you're like, okay, we don't want to go to Mystic for the weekend, too expensive, don't want to do Newport, don't want to do an overnight hotel. Northampton is a great, great day trip. It's fantastic. And just the whole vibe there is fantastic. You will love it. Don't worry about what you're wearing because nobody cares. As a matter of fact, probably a lot of people haven't taken a shower in a couple weeks. Just kind of one of those places where, you know, nobody cares what you look like. So I actually like going to visit. And when I go to visit my parents, sometimes I just bring like literally a trash bag, like a big wide trash bag, and I throw clothes in it. Totally different than my sister. She packs everything. Everything's perfect, folded, this, that. She's got the makeup, all the stuff perfect. We have 5 minutes. It's a ton of time. But it's a great little town, and it actually is a city of Northampton. But just in case you're thinking like, God, I've never been there before, go up to Northampton. And then if you have a little bit more money, keep going. And then you can go up to the Berkshires. You can go to the what's it called? The Red Lion Inn. Very, you know, fancy. Not really, but you know, it's one of those iconic spots that people have heard about, the Red Lion Inn. Just gonna go in and go over a few trees. I was chatting a little too much, so I didn't get this perfectly. But I think this will be a great little painting. And I think if Rich's new daughter-in-law is anything good at art, she could probably add to this and make it kind of her own if she wanted to. I mean, I like it. I'm gonna do some of these sparkles and stuff that you can see in the sky. I don't know if I like them, but I'm gonna do them anyway. And some are yellow and some are white, and yeah, I don't have a ton of yellow here. Again, you wanna replenish your paints every now and then. I didn't have time because I came straight from school today, and my daughter was like, Mom, can you come get me? And I was like, no, actually I can't. And I hate to ask my son, you know, because he's in college, but he lives with us, which I love. I swear to God, I love it. Sometimes people are like, oh, are the kids missing out because they're not getting to party and they're not getting to go to the dorms and they're not getting to be on their own? Well, one of the things I do about my kid is, first of all, I don't have any rules with either of them because there's no, why have rules if they follow the rules? So we don't really have rules as long as they follow the initiative rules. But yeah, my daughter always says, how come I'm the one that has to vacuum? How come you never ask James? How come I have to do it? And I say, because James is in college. And she's like, well, my mom, he lives with us. And I'm like, I know, but imagine if he didn't live with us. Like, you know what? I have to act like he's a college kid, you know? Even though he lives with us, it's like he deserves that space. So, like, I get it. And when she goes to college, I'm just putting some random, like, I don't know, circles, kind of. I'll show you quick. Yeah, I'm just adding circles. So they're gonna look like stars and kind of gives it a Christmas look, even though it's not Christmassy. So I always say, you know, because sometimes she'll get mad. You always tell me to clean and not him. Why do you ask me to do everything? Well, first of all, he's neat. And second of all, like, he's in college. So those of you who have kids at home, like, just try to remember that, yeah, I know they're home and they're living with you and they're saving you a ton of money, but they're still in college. And, like, I don't want my kid having to vacuum. He's going to want to leave me. And he could be a million miles away. He could be in California learning. He could be in New York. He could be gone. And I know a lot of kids leave. And I'm glad he's with me. He doesn't cause any problems, but I also try to give him his space. So like last night, I don't know what time he was out till. It could have been like 2, 3 in the morning. I don't know what he was doing. I don't ask because, you know what? He's a college kid. He lives with me. You know, he's not coming up crashing through the woods with his car. He's not being an idiot. Like, he's an easy kid. So I just figure, you know, he deserves to have a college life like anybody else. I mean, I was away for college, and I think it was a big deal back then where a lot of people went away to college, whereas now not so much. But, you know, sometimes I wonder, like, am I doing the right thing? But actually, it's in his court. I always say, you do what you want to do. It's your thing. But we always have to worry about money in my house because we don't have a ton. But, you know, I had friends, you know, I went to Boston University. It was wicked expensive. And I had friends that are still paying off their you know, degree. So, you know, you do what's best for you. Some people, 1 minute, Rich just said 1 minute. We're not even ready. But again, my guy goes to Central. It's extremely affordable, just in case you're watching and you're like, oh my God, I can do with college. Some kids have their lifelong dreams. I want to go to Purdue. I want to go to Duke. I am dying to go to Ohio State. I can't wait to party at Notre Dame. That's a priority. You know, BU, I love being an alumni at BU. But I'm not one of those crazy people that's like, oh, we're Terriers forever and we got to go back and hockey. Nope. You do what's best for your kid. But if you are watching my show, remember my kid is thriving, I think. I hope. You know, he's never like, Mom, I'm so happy. I've never been happier in my whole life. But I mean, for the most part, easy kid, doesn't have to have any debt. I pay for it because I figure whatever. And my kids do a little bit of on the side with money. My kid plays some sort of MLB 20 or something and has some sort of like, I don't know what it's called, like a podcast or something. It's very different. And then my daughter does the makeup, of course. So it's kind of interesting. But I just wish kind of that everybody could go back and kind of grow up. Like if you're my age or younger, it's kind of nice because like we really did. Like, and my parents weren't like dirt poor or anything like that, but we still put those Wonder Bread bags in our boots. Like, you know what I mean? We'd put a Wonder Bread bag in our boots because that's what everybody did. You grabbed a Wonder Bread bag. My mother would save them all in the bread box. Remember when they used to have a bread box, that silver thing that opened with the holes in it? Someone said that's for potatoes. Now, I think it's for bread. But we would keep all the Wonder Bread back when you only bought Wonder Bread. Now there's like bakeries, this, that. There's Ezekiel bread that's like $7 a loaf. Back in the day, though, it was Wonder Bread. And I mean, you could really make a ball of clay out of that stuff. And so I don't like Wonder Bread because I don't like that sticky bread sticking in me. So I'm more like of a cracker person, even though it all goes in the same place. Anyway, we probably have a minute left. I'm going to try to finish this maybe. I mean, if Rich thinks his new daughter-in-law would love it, but we can say she's not good at painting. We send her with this and we tell her to go to Dick Blick, get some paints and plenish it up, you know, just replenish, go over. You know, if someone has a winter hat in, watch, I'm going to do a winter hat right now. I'm going to do a blue hat right on this person right here. Put this hat right on there, okay? It's going to be teeny. I'm going to put some blue pants on this guy over here. Nobody even sees. It's just a stick figure, okay? We'll add a little coat over here on this one. We'll put like a red coat on this one over here. Remember, you're not going to be able to see it. Just want a few colors so it looks a little bit nicer. Thank you for tuning in. I love it. I get chatting so much that I don't even get to do my painting great, but we don't care. We have a ball. Thanks for tuning in, and this is the last of the winter season. I hope I'm invited back because I absolutely love it here. Thank you to Joni. Thank you to Rich. Thank you for Nate. Thank you for everybody here. All the people, Beverly, thank you. Everybody here is just phenomenal. So thank you. And I'll try to get my hair up today and we'll get rid of this outfit and we'll put on something different for the next episode. Thanks for tuning in. I love you and see you later. Bye-bye. I love it.
The Saybrook Fish House in Canton has been serving fresh seafood, chicken, and steak entrees for 34 years, offering 3 cozy dining room settings, a newly renovated pub with craft beer, wine by the glass, specialty cocktails, and a lighter fare menu. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Reservations accepted for parties of 2 to 42, and gift certificates are also available. The Saybrook Fish House, nestled at the crossroads of Route 44, 202, and 179 in Canton.